June 6th. It's about 5:45. We are headed to Tradinghouse Creek Reservoir to fish the last event of the All Starr fishing tournament series with No Bad Days kayaking. Kind of interested in this lake. Never been here before. Could almost make this into a Fish Texas episode. What I've been told is the lake's up a little bit, which is kind of what's going on with all the lakes up here in this region. And this is just a small lake on the outside of Waco. So we're gonna go get wacko in Waco here, kind of do that basic stuff. Go fish. I'm gonna go fish for the fish. I'm just excited to get out there. We'll get some updates when we do. Bucky's. It is about 8 o'clock, 8:15, and I thought I was gonna stop at a Bucky's that's a little bit further up the road. Could be completely wrong. This could be where I'm supposed to be, and it just stopped tracking me properly. But I'm hungry now, so I'm gonna go eat and get some stuff, and then I won't have to screw around, and I'll just go straight there. All right, well, we have arrived. We checked out the first area where everybody else was staying, and it just seemed pretty high traffic, and it was right next to the boat ramp, and I didn't want to deal with that. There was an area that I had been kind of looking at, eyeballing on the maps out here on the little more east of the launch ramp, a little more secluded, a little more kind of wooded area, a little bit nicer. There's literally a little launch beach like right here. It's awesome. So I'm going to go here. My tent's already set up. It's about 10:38. I don't really need to be awake. See you guys in the morning. Here we are. It is morning. I think launch time was 6. It's 6:13. I'm literally going to fish right here. So I'm not too concerned about launching, but we are set up. We got the new dolly. Hopefully that works. Here was our camp last night. Right here into this shady oak tree. Actually pretty nice. So nothing to squam at. I'm happy. I slept good. And now we're pretty much ready. So gonna be getting in the water here momentarily. It's humid, yes. Come and say. I know. Keeps not well with that. All right, we are just seconds away. 30 seconds. And we will be lines in. I'm seeing some fish already busting. We're literally right here next to camp. Lines in, here we go. There we go. A fish, white bass thing. Got the stink on the boat, stink off the boat, however you say that. Look at this thing. Absolutely inhaled it. There we go. Won't be too bad. Small keeper, but keeper nonetheless. skinny fish. Nice little guy right there. Something to start the day. So long, buddy. Nice. Better fish. Yeah, I felt a tick. A little tick, and then it got pretty slack, and I knew I had a fish. Man, if that fish wasn't so spawned out, that'd be a nice fish. That's number 2. Fish number 2, 16 3/4. Nicer fish. Okay. These fish are really pale. Really subtle. Just a tick tick. Tick tick boom. I usually don't sandbag, but I'm gonna sandbag today because I learned that there's the smallest limit option, and if I catch a bunch of 12-inch fish, bet your ass I'm gonna weigh those in. It's about 10:20 and haven't had a bite since about 8 o'clock, so getting a little concerned. Gonna mosey this way. Don't really know if there's anything to fish out here, but it's either that or across the lake, and I mean that's always a possibility, but man, it's windy. It's not helping. Not helping at all. But keep on keeping on. See if we can get something. Gonna fish this windswept point here and see if this helps at all. Go from there. You would think that this cove would probably be loaded with fish. Yeah. Well, it's kind of tough. I feel like most of the fish were caught already. They're all caught doing something that I'm not, so. Yeah, that was just a random cast on a whim here. I saw a hump on the graph and I was like, well, I'll cast out in this direction, and here we go. I think this might be a really small keeper. He was not hooked very well. Oh no, he was up good. Had it in the face and in the mouth. Ooh, if this is a keeper, this is a tiny keeper. $13. There we go. Keeper number 3, 13. Not a big one, but a fish. Wrong flavor. That's a better fish. Stay down, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. This is a huge fish. Woo! We've never caught a fish this big. Holy Jesus, look at the size of this fish, everybody. Wow, I saw this girl jump. That's a new PB right there, that's a new PB. I don't know that this is gonna be big enough. Oh, that's the biggest fish I've ever caught in my entire life. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. All right, you're all here. All right, that's more appropriate. Okay, 6'11". There we go, everybody. That is 23 inches on the nose, 6 pounds, 11 ounces. Look at the size of that thing. You are the ugliest, most beautiful thing I have ever seen. About 6.5.
What was it?
The bass.
Oh, hell yeah. I seen it when you picked it up. Man, that's a big fish.
That was a big fish.
Are you in the tournament?
Yeah.
Good.
Mega bass, mega bass. Yeah, that's a good bass. Oh. That was a good bass. There's the lure of the hour here. This is an old Bagley's Diving B number 2. You'll be able to see that. But white, like very solid white shad pattern with an orange belly. That's what got that bigger on that thing. Man, that fish just pounded it. started giving it up, but well, it happened so fast I didn't get this one on film, but I got this one. 100% 14.5. So long, buddy. That's 137. We had that fifth keeper. I have to say, it is nice having the pressure off. The pressure of trying to get that last fish was intense. Like that, I was just a bundle of nerves, just hoping to connect with a fish, and I did. And luckily it wasn't just like a little fish, like it put me over 80 inches, so that's good. You know, if it had been like a 12 or something, I'd have still been under 80 inches. So I'm actually, I think I was 81.75, so a top 10 finish would be sweet. Top 5 finish would be fantastic. You know, with that big fish, even big fish, just big fish alone would be awesome. Anything, really. This is the last tournament with All Star fishing of the year, so anything would be sweet. All right, 3 o'clock lines out. Whew, what a day. That's a hoo-wee moment right there. Started out relatively strong, got 2 fish by 8 o'clock. Got one on a crankbait, got one on the freestyle rig, and then just died. Wind picked up, went and kept trying to recreate what we were doing, but just couldn't connect. Nothing. Fished another side of the lake, and the wind was just beating us up. Came back to where we started and fished through there, nothing, and then continued on towards the dock, because I'm not gonna lie, I needed to use the restroom. That was originally why I went back towards the launch ramp. That was around 11 o'clock. Got back on the water and thought to myself, you know, Stillhouse. I think back to Stillhouse and all those fish that were stacked up in front of the launch ramp. And I just thought, man, I don't know why we can't try that, because there's only 2 ramps on this whole lake, and those are them, and they're right next to each other. So you know, all these tournaments that are going on, all these people are just letting these fish go right there. And so I said, I'm gonna start cranking. I saw quite a few shad on the graph, so I just threw a crankbait out real quick, kind of just happenstance, just pitched it out there, bam. Caught number 3. It was only a 13-incher, but hey, that's a keeper. And I said, you know, we might be onto something here. So I just stayed there. I ended up throwing on an older, you know, new stock old Bagley's diving. I think it was a diving B number 2 that I gotten from my dad. It was white with an orange belly, and working that for a little bit, then all of a sudden, boom. Ended up catching the big girl, 23 inches. It was 6 pounds, 11 ounces. She gave us a run for our money, jumping out of the water. Everybody's looking from the bank, yelling, hooping and hollering. It was pretty cool. That's the biggest fish I've caught in Texas, especially during a tournament, but in Texas period, that's the biggest fish I've caught. So that was number 4. And then the heat was on. You know, I had to get, it's great to catch a huge fish, but it doesn't mean anything unless you have a limit, because, you know, I was in 11th place with a 23-inch fish. So then I fished, just kept cranking. I had lost a fish earlier that was probably about 16. It was a nicer fish. And fished some more, had like a short strike that I felt, had a tail slap that I felt, and just nothing. Then finally ended up putting the wacky rig out there and grabbed a 14.5, number 5. Did that just a little before 2 o'clock, and that was it. The heat was off, and we had our limit. Sitting at 81 and change in our total, and just kept fishing that for a while. I knew this boat tournament was going to end pretty soon, so I ended up fishing, exhausting that for the last hour there, and then I just started working my way back towards the truck, and now it's lines out, and hey, look at that, there's the truck. It's just right there, right there, with my camp and everything. So I'm gonna pull out here, I'm gonna get the camp pulled up and get to the awards and see how we stacked up. I'd like to see a top 5 finish. That'd be fantastic. Hopefully big bass would be awesome. Would be a really good way to end out All Stars fishing season. And 2025, you know, so far to this point, would be fantastic. So let's get going to the weigh-in or the awards, and I'll see you guys there.